there's always a first time to everything. The first time that I really spoke on a big platform was in this conference during my BBA. Well, during that conference, while I was speaking, I felt as if the sun was right in front of my face, and my cheeks were getting so red as if I thought that I was cultivating cherries in them. Well, this was the time I decided to join Toastmasters, and here I am in front of you all delivering my very first speech as a Toastmaster. Good evening, everyone. Today, I want to share with you the reasons why I wanted to join Toastmasters. But before that, let me introduce myself first. I am Nivita Pradhan, 21, currently working at Trishakti Cables and Hydro Solutions with my father. I come from this place called Bandipur, which is really far, but I've been living in Kathmandu my whole life. Talking about myself, I'm a girl who you won't find easily depressed or sad. And about my childhood, it was a very blessed childhood. Even now, I have a really happy life due to my supporting, loving parents and my adorable younger brother. Talking about my hobbies, I love to travel, swim, and dance a lot. And then about my dreams and aspirations, well, I want to be one of those well-known faces among the entrepreneurs in Nepal, women entrepreneurs actually. And talking about my schooling, I did it from St. Mary's High School in Kathmandu. Then I went on to Mussoorie International in India. And after that, I finished my bachelor's in business management from Sunway University in Malaysia. Well, now going back to the topic, why I wanted to join Toastmasters. This all goes back to my school days. I was one of those kids, you know, the ones who don't answer in class, who feel it's not their job or responsibility to answer to the teachers in class. Well, what I'm trying to say is that my public speaking was literally at a zero level. When I went to India, it was a completely different world out there. You see people so competitive, so eager to answer in classes, whereas I was the least bothered of them all. I didn't even change my outlook in India. Shows how stubborn I used to be. Well, it was finally in Malaysia that I realized the importance of public speaking. Being in bachelor's, having to go in front of the class and present every week, it was the scariest thing for me. I would, rather than presenting, I would prefer actually passing out some of the times. But then I eventually became better, and I even went to present a paper from my university for an international conference on consumerism. Well, it was during that conference that was the defining moment for me when I realized I really needed some practice to speak in front of a mass. Because as soon as the MC announced my name in the conference and I got up to that podium, it was scary as hell. I was so nervous, I was shaking, all my words were shaking, and the whole presentation was just disastrous. I stammered throughout the presentation, and this was because I was so unconfident. Me and my friend were the only ones there in our bachelor's, that also just the second year, whereas the people, hundreds of people, there were intellectuals, 30s, 40s, 50s, and professionals. This was the reason I felt so unconfident to speak in front of them. And this was the time I decided to join Toastmasters, being a determined girl. That was the time I decided to join Toastmasters. Well, after that, I went to a demo meeting in the SYUC Toastmasters Club in our university. There, what I observed was people were speaking in a certain forced tone, and having asked around, I found out that they were mentored to speak in that way. For example, if I have to say, I love to travel, swim, and dance, they would say it in a manner, I love to travel, swim, and dance. Literally, they spoke in this way, which was not natural to me at all. Could you imagine yourself speaking like that in meetings, seminars, or even here? Well, for me, it was really weird and unnatural. So sadly, though it was a fantastic club, I decided to drop the idea of joining it. After that, I came back after my graduation and started to work. Well, that time, when I started to work, it was a very hectic work schedule, and though I wanted to join Toastmasters, I didn't have time. So one day, my friend Shraddha calls me up and asked me if I wanted to go to this Toastmasters meeting. It was in October that time, so I just followed her out of curiosity, and to my surprise, it was such a treat, meeting such welcoming people at first, and then hearing such good speeches from good speakers and no forced tone of all. Well, I thought my Toastmasters dream would actually come true. But then, at that time, my dad was literally driving me with work, crazy with work. I was working from 9 to 8. Sometimes I was in Pokhara, sometimes I was in Chitwan. Well, since I have free time now, I've joined Himalayan Toastmasters and I'm in front of you presenting my very first speech. And in the hope that my redness in my cheeks will disappear soon after some other speeches. And even now, even with the heat of this heater, I feel as if it's so hot and I'm still feeling that the sun is right in front of my face. And I can't even imagine how red my cheeks must have gotten on top of all this blush I've applied for today. But in all seriousness, I did join Toastmasters to improve my confidence and improve my public speaking and learn from all of your vast experiences. And I really hope I become good at it in the future, and I'm glad I joined this club.
Handshake.